Hi guys, I'm Andre Smith.
And I'm Harmony Hamilton.
And welcome to KNSU Magazine. This week on KNSU Magazine, we're going to show all you college kids out there how to survive on their college budget, and we know it's rough.
I sat down with culinary student Matthew Rollins, and he showed us how to turn a simple ramen dish into something extraordinary. Let's take a look. Chef John Fall's culinary student Matthew Rollins knows a thing or two about creating good food from cheap ingredients. Ramen noodles are a classic college meal that can be altered to one's liking. Matthew shows us how to create a deer meat ramen dish with simple ingredients. Onions are chopped up and set to the side, followed by the deer meat preparation.
This is silver skin. It's completely edible. Everybody calm down. Set that in there. What we're going to do with this particular one, we're just going to slice it in strips.
The meat is seasoned with salt, red pepper, and black pepper. The noodles are then added to boiling water while butter melts in a nearby skillet. The meat is then added to the buttered skillet and cooks for 3 minutes before the chopped onions are added. After an additional 3 minutes, chopped garlic, teriyaki sauce, and the beef broth from the noodles are added to the skillet and cooked for 5 minutes. The meat is added to the noodles, followed by the broth, cilantro, sriracha, and an egg yolk. For KNSU Magazine, I'm Harmony Hamilton.
That looked delicious, Harmony. You gonna teach me the recipe?
Let's get through the show first.
Amen to that.
Speaking of getting through things, have you guys ever waken up the morning after an extreme hangover and you just didn't know how to get over it?
If not, you're definitely not doing college right.
Our friend Richard Dubas has more on how to get through those tough times the next day.
Thanks, Richard. Wish I had that advice last weekend.
Oh, Andre.
Oh, don't do that to me. Up next, we have local wild man Luke, and he's going to show us how to survive all the horrors of college with Man vs. Nichols.
Why am I losing all my followers? If you want to stop losing your followers, you have to stop posting these pictures.
Local wild man Luke shows us how to survive on Nichols campus by any means necessary, and I mean by any means necessary.
Isn't that stealing?
Let's just look.
I'm Bear Grylls, and I'm going to seek out some of the most extreme challenges, the most dangerous locations on Earth. And having the right survival skills can mean the difference between life and death. I've come to Nichols campus, chance to survive with only the resources of the average college student. Millions of students walk this campus each day to experience the adrenaline rush of college life. What they don't know is how quickly it can turn deadly.
And I'm going to show you how to survive.
Many students on campus find themselves in this situation. with no money or no food, and I'm gonna show you how to survive. Right now we're out in front of Power White. There's a story of a man who was deserted on an island. He crashed in a shipwreck full of coconut trees. They found him on the island dead of starvation. Not a single coconut on the ground opened or even cracked. This is an example of a guy who had all the resources at his disposal, but he didn't go out and take advantage of it. And here's a banana tree, and I'm gonna show you a technique used by the Aztec Indians on how to get those bananas down from this very tree. Got it. Even the monkeys would be jealous of me. Vending machines located all over campus are readily available, and I'm going to show you a technique used to get candy out of a machine without using any money. This technique should only be used in a survival situation, and I'm going to go for that one right there. Got it. It looks like today's going to be my payday. And now we're here in the Nickel Student Union at Godfather's Pizza, and I'm going to show you one more technique on how to survive without having any money here on campus. This technique should only be used in a survival situation. Here I go. And there you have it. And that's how you survive on Nichols campus without having any money in your wallet or any money in your checking account and still being able to get food. And this pizza is going to give me all the vitamins and all the nutrients necessary to survive. Oh, so good.
Up next, we're getting creative. Joanna Decree has more info.
Back when, like years ago, but social media was like starting to really become prevalent, and I noticed like, hey, look, people making funny videos. I like to make people laugh. I like to do funny things. That's me. I guess you can call me crazy. That's putting it lightly. So I figured I can get into stuff like that. So, and it was Black Friday at the time, so it was extra convenient. So I bought myself a camcorder and I started trying to get into the YouTube thing because at the time, I want to say this was about 2009 or whatever, and Instagram really wasn't the thing yet. So people were basically on Twitter, and on Facebook, but people weren't just posting them videos on Facebook trying to get views. That's before people were doing that. So I was like, okay, well look, let me see if I can get hot on YouTube. And the first 2 videos I made, they were funny, but they were kind of long. People don't really have a long enough attention span to watch a video that's 2 and 3 minutes long. If it's not within a minute and a half, people are like, okay, next, I don't want to see this anymore. So it really didn't go far. Plus I go to school for mass communications anyway, so I gotta be, proficient in some of those things like that with social media and stuff, so why not? I can put that on a resume like, hey, look, job that I'm trying to apply for, Fox News, I got 100,000 followers on Instagram, hire me. No, but for the most part, and then you can monetize it or whatever. I can, take what I do and say I get big enough, I get a big enough basis to where, people are like, hey, look, you have X amount of followers, that's a big enough crowd. How about you take my product and, put it in one of your next videos, one of your little funny videos or whatever. And I'm like, hey, look, all right, cool. Well, here's X amount of dollars. I'll charge you X amount of dollars. I'll talk about or wear your product or whatever. And that way I can do something I like, make money at the same time, and hopefully it works out for me. So, I make the videos and I try to keep them, for the most part, I try to keep the videos that I make family friendly. There's a lot of stuff you see on social media that's kind of like, yeah, risque. I was like, hey, look, dude, I need you to throw the milk. I had him throw the milk in the air, and I tried to focus it, catch it with the camera and everything in slow motion, with the label facing in midair. There was no strings, nobody hand guided the milk. it was tossed in the air like 50 times before we can get it for the label, the face, and everything, just to make it look legit. But when I finished it, it was bomb. I was like, oh snap, we did that, you know. But after so many tries, it was annoying. But once it's finished, it's like the best thing in the world, because you realize how much effort you put in to a 15-second video.
Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm Andre.
And I'm Harmony.
And this has been
KNSU
KNSU Magazine.